Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post another quick video here. This is going to be just kind of another vinyl challenge video. I have to start labeling something else since I'm not doing the challenge as much now, but this is just kind of stuff I've been listening to for the past week or so. Just wanted to kind of share that really quick and show you some of the different moods that I've been in. Playing in the background, a song I've listened to I don't know how many times this week. Song cracks me up. If no other reason, just to feel good for a moment. All I gotta do is throw this song on. And actually, the vinyl is sitting over there, but I'm listening to the CD right now. And this was a mixed CD that Adam gave me, and of course, the song is "Heartbeat" by Don Johnson. I don't know if I've ever listened to that song without laughing my tail off. I can't help it. I don't know, it's funny. It's just everything that the 80s was about. Some of the worst of the greatest that the 80s was all about. I don't know. You remember those back in, I think, 80... I'm not going to guess. I was going to say 87, but I think it was before that. But it was that time period where all those, actors and everything thought that, oh, I'm a big Hollywood star, so I can just jump right into the music business. And sad enough, it was kind of possible back then to a certain degree, but I don't know, just make the 80s what it was. But anyway, enough about that yapping. This is just stuff that I've been listening to over the past, since I did my last video, probably 5 days or so, something like that. And I'll go through some of these kind of quick because the video I just posted I did yesterday morning, I showed some of these, but I've kind of listened to them. It's the Archies I showed, Aerosmith Classic Live, I listened to that the other night. Phil Collins, again I showed that one. Black Pearl, John Coltrane. I'm going through these quick. Like I said, my last video I kind of showed these, period, but I have listened to these this past week, as well as U2. And here's one too, Rick Braun, in case any of you guys aren't familiar with him. He is definitely, without question, my favorite smooth jazz artist. It's really interesting. I've always described him as someone that his music is too cool for him. Like I don't think he knows how cool his stuff is. So it's almost like it's too cool for him. So I don't know if that makes it too cool for him, or he's so humble that his music seems so much greater than him. But I don't know, man. This dude just got soul, man. He has this smooth jazz sound that is just, absolutely perfect. If you're not familiar with him, songs like on this one would be "One Love" is my favorite song off of this album. His greatest hits album, "Missing in Venice." What else? Laura. And there's a few others too, but again, just an awesome smooth jazz artist. Some people might call it elevator music, but not to me. Now the next, 4 or 5 here, if any of you guys have ever seen the movie The Wood, it's about these 3 friends that guy, they're older, getting married, and he's having some second thoughts, and so the whole movie is kind of about the flashback of them going to high school and everything. And high school puts them back in the 80s, and it's L.A. I think it's in L.A. But anyway, so they grew up in the hood and everything. So a lot of the soundtrack and the music that you hear playing in the movie is all that old 80s R&B and 80s hip hop. It's my love. So when I saw that, I went immediately into my collection, started pulling stuff out and spinning a bunch of different stuff. So a few of the things that kind of popped out was UTFO. This was pretty much between them and Afrika Bambaataa, or Afrika Bambaataa. That was pretty much my introduction to all things hip hop, or those 2 bands. And on this one, songs like "Leader of the Pack," "Bite It," "Calling Her Crab," "Roxanne, Roxanne," "The Real Roxanne." Everything on this album was fantastic. So great old school hip hop there. Find a safe place to set these down. Levert, The Big Throwdown. This was one that was in the movie too. The song "Casanova." Love hearing this song too because the song Casanova is a song that represents my first crush ever. Back when I was in grade school, going into junior high, I went to Illinois with my sister, took a train there actually, to visit my grandmother. The last day I was there, my cousin and I were in a grocery store, and we bumped into two of her friends. And I'll never forget it. One of her friends' name was Lily Bender. I mean, all these freaking years, and I still remember that. And after we left, I was leaving that next morning, and my cousin told me, you know, Lily had said something to her that she thought that I was cute and all this other type of stuff. And I hadn't really had a girlfriend or anything up to that point in time. So I was like, God, the freaking day that I'm leaving. And on the bus ride home, we took a Greyhound bus home, that was one of the songs I remember playing over and over because I was like really into it then. So every time I hear it now, there's just that strong association with like my first crush ever. Never went anywhere because I lived 4 hours away, and when you're, you know, in grade school, junior high, like what can you do with a 4-hour long distance relationship? But it's amazing how that seared into my mind every time I hear that song. Ice-T Colors. Again, just one that popped out. I was like, let me take a listen. This is the 12-inch, 45 RPM. Great old school there. Into Me. And of course, the jam off of this was Juicy Fruit. I mean, again, one of those videos when I was younger that just used to make me think cool as cool can be. Especially the guy in there that, I know I've spoke about this before, but during the video there's a Asian lady in a red dress like dancing around. Then there's a black guy in like this suit wearing these glasses with a hat on backwards. And I'll never forget it, this really cool kind of keyboard solo in the middle of it. He's doing this like little step thing while she's dancing. He has a cigarette and like he flips it into his mouth, you know, and flips it back out. And I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, that's like the coolest thing in the world. So again, every time I hear that song, it's one of those flashbacks to that video actually. Old school, old school, old school. Does not get any better than this. Too Short, Born to Mac. This is actually the first thing I put on after I watched that movie The Woods. There was some Too Short in that movie. I mean, for those of you maybe that don't know about Too Short, LJ, I know right now you're like fantasizing about backseat, hoopty, you know, $2,000 stereo system in a $1,000 car, that type of thing. Too Short was made for that. The first real kind of I don't want to say gangster rap because it wasn't really that. There was something that was more real about Too Short than most hip-hop or rap artists that just try to get on a record and just start cussing as much as they can and start talking about sex as much as they can and all of that. You know, some people did it just because like that was the thing to do. There was something real about the way that Too Short did it because it didn't feel phony. I almost equate it to Richard Pryor and cussing. Like, you know, you get some comedians like maybe Andrew Dice Clay, which I love to death. But Dice Clay's act is all about the shock factor, you know, just like throwing stuff that hits you like, I can't believe he just said that and how hard he says it and his language and everything. I mean, he is funny as heck to me, but, you know, he curses a lot for the sake of his shock factor. Richard Pryor cussed to make the point. Like, he wasn't just being crude. And sometimes you didn't even notice, wait a minute, he is cursing a lot, but because he's just part of his flow, part of him being real and what he was doing. Too Short was the exact same way. He said and did some foul stuff on his records, but a lot of times you don't notice it because it was just so, like, real, like that Richard Pryor thing I just described. So anyway, I know I'm getting into way too much. Again, talking about Too Short while Huey Lewis and the News playing in the background. But yeah, Born to Mac, one of his first records, and I mean the song Freaky Tales on here. Man, old school does not get any better than that. Another one too, and this was in the movie, D Nice. Just Call Me D Nice. The bass drop back in high school. There's not a single guy I knew in high school that did not have this 12-inch maxi single cassette tape back in high school. This song is definitely one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time. Call Me D-Nice. So that was kind of some of the stuff that came from, the movie I was just talking about. Other things just kind of listening to. After talking about Washed Out the other day, I pulled that out and, gave that a listen again. That never gets old. Cat Power, just kind of flipping through, and I thought I haven't listened to this one in a while, so I gave it a little spin. Love that cover too, but that is, I don't know, that soft purple and everything. I don't know, it's just a very, very nice cover, that album. Nice 2 LP set. Then we have Mr. RS here, that's what I call him, his name is always so weird, pronouncing everything. Raphael Saeed. Really cool album here too. This is, the way I see it, is the name of the album. One of the things I love about this album is I'm really not a huge fan of modern day R&B, so to have an artist like this really go back to old school type R&B, that's exactly what this is. And in case you don't know him, he's the one that used to sing lead in Tony, Tony, Tony. But yeah, great album here, fantastic song in here Sometimes. Old school R&B, which I think is absolutely fabulous. Little Chastain here I listened to. Got into a little hair metal phase when I was doing a response to Greeno's video. His subs video. Also jumped into my compilations and pulled out this one. Played both of these the other day, which is really kind of cool. 25 hits from 25 years, just a bunch of Motown hits. The Marvelettes, the Supremes, Temptations, Four Tops, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder. All kinds of great stuff on here. So just kind of a Motown compilation. Y&T. I was watching that metal show, and what's his name was talking about underrated guitar players, and he mentioned what's his name? Adam Day, I think is who he's talking about. So it made me think about Y&T, and I pulled this out. Of course, this has the hit "Don't Stop Running" on it, which is really cool. I don't know where this one came from, but Planet P. I remember LJ showing this in a video a long, long time ago, and I don't know, for some reason, just every now and then that pops in my mind. That's actually what made me think about going and pulling it out. And again, I don't know why that moment from videos, that has to be like a few years ago, I think, literally. But anyway, LJ, you prompted me to pull out good old Planet P, which has that song Why Me on there. Another one of those songs, nothing to do with necessarily the album cover, but one of those songs that makes me queasy. Again, I don't know why. It goes back to the isolation feeling thing. It's almost like that song should be on that Roxy Music Avalon album for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I listened to it, got queasy, and moved on. Last two here, 12-inch Kool and the Gang Fresh. Gave that a little spin. And last but not least, I bought this one, or picked this one up a little while ago, and I finally got around to listening to it, which is Wayne Shorter, Speak No Evil. So there you go, BC. That's kind of what I've been spinning and listening to. There's actually a few other things too, but maybe I'll show those in another video. But that's what I've been kind of spinning and listening to over the past week or so. So as always, let me know what you think. My next video, I will try to make sure I do some of the requests. I still have a few hanging out there. And again, feel free to throw some my way. Feel free to throw some more requests my way, and I'll be happy to try to get to them. Alright, so take care, guys, and we will talk to you soon.